You guys don't know how many times I've tried to record this video. My husband keeps calling me and interrupting. Anyway, this video is going to be about sex after hysterectomy. Yes, I know, I have a huge pimple at the bottom of my nose. Anyway, if you're squeamish or you don't like to hear about sex and female vagina after hysterectomy, lubricant, stuff like that, you might want to exit out of this video and find a cat video to watch. Those baby videos with the babies giggling, those are nice too. So anyway, sex after hysterectomy. I will say it is one of the most nerve-wracking things I've done since probably losing my virginity the first time. I need to also say that my anxiety about it was worse than the actual act of doing it. That's kind of how we are as women. We will worry about stuff that we don't even know we need to worry about before it happens, in advance. You know, I know people who don't even have a boyfriend who's worried about their wedding. You know, that's how some women are. So, I was cleared to have sex at about 8 weeks, and it wasn't because that's what the doctor had initially said, or I was having complications. It was because I was late getting my post-op visit. So, we went ahead and had sex, and the first thing that I initially noticed was that the lubrication just was different. And I don't know if that was because I was so anxious about it, I was so nervous about it, I wasn't even trying to enjoy it, if that makes sense. Like, I was just like, okay, let's get it over with. It wasn't like, oh baby, I miss you so much. I mean, I did have those feelings all the time, but like when it actually came down to it, I was like, oh crap, I didn't talk to all this mess about what I'm gonna do, and now I'm scared to do it. I would say the biggest thing was lubrication was just not what it's supposed to be. And I have my ovaries, so from what other women have told me, if you have your ovaries removed, you have more of an issue with lubrication and stuff because estrogen has something to do with that. I don't know if that's true, but I've been in a lot of hysterectomy groups on Facebook, and there's a lot of women who've said things of that nature. But I think it felt a little gritty, and I think that was because of the lubrication issue. I've never had a lubrication problem. So as far as pain goes, it did eventually hurt. It didn't hurt initially. So I would say maybe like 10-15 minutes in. I don't know how you roll when you do what you do, but for me, 10-15 minutes in, I started to feel a little uncomfortable. It was almost like someone ever gave you an Indian burn, and you know how it doesn't really hurt, but you do feel that friction feeling. Like, that's how I felt, even once we introduced some lubrication, because that was obviously an issue. And I think that's because of the type of hysterectomy I had. Maybe I had a laparoscopic hysterectomy that was vaginally assisted. So they went in with the little machine type thing, and I don't know whether they clipped stuff apart and then pulled it out of my vagina or whatever, but I do know that there was a cut in my vagina and there were things that were pulled out. I don't know if that was the cervix, the uterus, what, but there is a cut at the top of my vagina. So I think that initial burning feeling was the fact that now I had a scar on the inside of my vagina, and I think that scar just wasn't used to being touched yet. I will say now it's all good. I don't have that feeling anymore. I don't have lubrication issues anymore. The question that I think Lillian asked me was, will it feel different to her husband? My husband said, because you know how we are, you know, you'll lay there in the afterglow moments and you'll be like, was it good? Well, I asked him, was it different? And he said, not really. And then he said, I can barely tell. So yes, I do think that it feels different. I think that men know our bodies inside and out. which is why you a lot of times hear that a man will find a lump in his wife's breast before she does. That's what he touches every day if he's lucky enough and he's not getting in trouble and having to sleep on the couch. So of course he can tell when there's changes up there, and I think it's the same way with our vaginas. um, but I will say it's not bad. We're not having issues where he's just like, oh my god, I can't feel it anymore, I'm falling, it's a bottomless pit. None of that. The cervix isn't back there anymore. So if you've ever had sex, you can actually feel a man's penis touch your vagina if he's so lucky to be well endowed enough. I don't have that feeling anymore because there's no cervix down there, and I don't think that he has the feeling. But you can feel him reach the back of the vagina. It's not a bottomless pit. And our sex life is healthy. It's fulfilling for both of us. But I will say that I think my husband does feel a difference. Um, but he also sees a difference in me. He sees how healthy I am, how much more vibrant I am, how much more happy I am when I'm not having the anxiety attacks I talked about before. I had a lot of stomach issues, and I think that was because my iron was so low that like my body just wasn't functioning. So my lactose intolerance was like through the roof. I would have diarrhea 4 or 5 times a week. And all of that's balanced out. So yes, there's a slight difference in the feeling there, but it's not negative. It's just different. I think you guys will be okay. My life, his life, our marriage is so much better because of what I've done to take care of my health. So don't allow his insecurities or your insecurities about life after hysterectomy stop you from making a change that can change your life for the rest of your life in a positive way. I really wish I would have done this a long time ago. Um, if you have more questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll try to make as many videos. I wish I had more people who are talking about this, more videos being made about this when I was going through my decision to get a hysterectomy and everything I was feeling leading up to it. So please don't feel like you're bothering me. Reach out, ask more questions. You can hit me up at ladyboxrocks.com. That's LADYBOXROCKS at gmail.com. If you have something you want to ask and you're just a little shy about it and you don't want everybody to see it. All right, guys, this is Ladybox signing off.